Assalamu alaikum. I am Khalid AlArfaj, managing partner of Pillsbury AlArfaj. Our firm was created through the merger of a leading international law firm whose proud history dates back to the 1800s with a 100% Saudi law firm committed to becoming the best in the region. Our mission is clear: to invest in talented young Saudi lawyers working alongside our experienced Pillsbury partners so they one day become the leading regional partners in their sectors and help us build the region's leading law firm. In this video series, as we celebrate Pillsbury's entry into the Saudi market, I'll be speaking with some of our most accomplished Pillsbury partners worldwide, each bringing deep expertise in their fields. In just a few minutes, they will share valuable insights from their sectors. Stay tuned and enjoy. Today, I'm speaking with my good friend and Pillsbury partner, Rob James. Rob has spent his entire career at one law firm, which is rare today. He is a graduate of Stanford and Yale Law, senior partner in our energy and infrastructure practice, co-leader of our data center team, and a senior research fellow at American University. Based in San Francisco and Houston, he bridges technology and energy with global experience, including here in the Middle East. Welcome, Rob.
Thanks very much, Khalid. It's very good to be here.
Rob, when we first met in San Francisco, you told me about a project that really resonated with me as a Saudi. Could you share that story?
Well, the Pillsbury law firm has represented Chevron, the energy company, and its predecessor since the 19th century. And what I mentioned to you, Khalid, is that in 1933, King Ibn Saud decided to ask British companies and American companies if they wanted to explore for oil in Saudi Arabia. It had just been found in Bahrain. Maybe there was oil in Saudi Arabia. Nobody knew. The British were very cautious and only offered rupees. But Standard Oil Company of California, advised by Pillsbury, offered rentals and bonuses all in gold. That became the American Arabian Oil Company. And Pillsbury saw advice through with Aramco now into Saudi Aramco over these many years. And so the lesson here is that when opportunity comes along, we should all remember to be bold.
Fascinating. Beyond your practice, you've written and spoken on conventional, renewable, and nuclear energy, carbon removal, project development, construction, AI, and clean tech. Your latest work is a white paper entitled Construction Gigaprojects. Rob, what are gigaprojects?
Well, I use the term literally to mean big projects. These are ones that require over 5 years of duration and literal expenditure of billions of US dollars. And the point is that these projects must change as the world changes. They span economic cycles, political shifts, even unforeseen events like pandemics. So they're qualitatively different from the normal construction project, which I think requires a rethinking of the contracts, the risk allocations, and the compensation systems that we would use in the ordinary job.
Thanks, Rob. So here in Saudi Arabia, giga projects like NEOM, Dir'iyah, Qiddiya, King Salman Park, and Red Sea Global are reshaping cities and infrastructure. They are not just large, they are strategic and visionary. What distinguishes a giga contract from a normal construction contract?
Well, Khalid, I identify 4 hallmarks of these larger, qualitatively different projects. The first is that a single giga project may be several projects in one. I cite the example of carbon capture, which begins as a petrochemical project, capturing the CO2 in an industrial facility. Next, it's a CO2 pipeline, which requires sealed lines with great expertise in that technology. It's then a subsurface project in which the CO2 is injected and stabilized in deep pore space or reservoirs. And then finally, it's a monitoring and verification process to capture the government incentives, which takes over a long time horizon that usually exceeds that of the normal contractor who wants to get in and out. So an individual giga project is multiple projects. Second hallmark is that there are often consortia on either side of the owner-contractor divide. There are many owners, there are many contractors or joint venture participants on each side, which complicates governance. Third is that we always talk about planning ahead, but in gigaprojects, front-end loading or front-end engineering design becomes critical and is a much larger percentage of cost and time involved in the project. And then finally, the contractor pool for gigaprojects is very thin. There are very few companies that can manage the risks, and of those, it may be a smaller subset who are willing to bear that risk and expose their balance sheet. So a standard contract simply does not work at this scale.
So where do you start when structuring a giga project?
Well, we begin with the proverbial whiteboard. We have no preconceptions. Investors as well as parent companies always like to hear about the engineering, procurement, and construction contract, EPC, because of its single point of responsibility. And that is a favorable aspect of it. But at the giga scale, EPC does have drawbacks. You are remote from your designer, from your engineer. That's now working for the contractor, not for the owner. If you try to transfer all the risks in a EPC contract, there will be a extra amount of cost and schedule commitments, and the contractor equipped with those risks has to pass them on and then charge you back with all of the inflated cost and schedules of the subcontractors and suppliers. And then, as I say, they're just simply the top contractors will not bear these risks to the full extent. And that's why we explore alternatives to EPC.
Like EPCM?
Absolutely, Khalid. EPCM is Engineering, Procurement, and Construction Management. And oh, what a difference that little letter M makes. The EPC contract is what I call a tool belt contract. The contractor actually undertakes to modify the real property. An EPCM contract is a white-collar contract. It is there for professional services. And usually the liabilities of the EPCM contractor are to manage the flow of work from trade contractors and engineers, acting more in the owner's interest, but shouldering fewer of the liabilities. And if you can manage those risk exposures, I believe that in the Giga project, EPCM or similar analogs can deliver better results.
Thank you, Rob. So how do you confine risk exposure in these structures?
Well, one observation I have is you don't have to transfer all the risks and fix all the compensation when you sign the contract. In a Giga project, you often have time phases during which the compensation, incentives, and risk allocations differ. So in the early going, when this project is less known, there's more flexibility, and you only fix the price and fix the schedule at a time when perhaps some of those risks have been bought out in the subcontracting and supply chain. You don't always have to have the same scope. You can break the scope into different parts, as in my carbon capture example. It might make a lot of sense to have those 4 schemes drawn up for 4 different contractor bases. And if you have a long-term relationship with contractors, it encourages fair play. Everyone knows that they're going to deal with each other tomorrow. They don't take advantage today. And that can go to the ultimate example of that, which is integrated project delivery, or IPD.
So IPD, how does that work?
Well, it began as a lean construction method in the Japanese automobile industry, and it essentially is a joint venture among the owner, the contractor, and the chief design professional. They co-locate, they share risks to a large degree, they share decisions. They establish a profit pool, which is there for the taking if the project turns out well, but is at risk if the project goes poorly. But the owner shoulders more of the risks, more of the downside, which gives more comfort and flexibility to the contracting team to reach appropriate decisions without protecting themselves against the risks of change orders and delays on both sides. It's taken off in the healthcare and nuclear industries to a great degree because of this relationship attitude that I mentioned, Khalid, that they are going to work with each other tomorrow. There'll be good behavior. There will be good behavior today. And so those are the industries in which we see it having the greatest impact.
Any other lessons from your Giga project research, Rob?
Well, 2 insights I had was first, and they're probably not insights to many of our listeners, but bring the investors in early. Let them understand how you are planning the project and give them more confidence that you can fix the price and fix the schedule at a stage later than their entry. Frequently, investors want those risks covered as soon as they walk in the door. That's not in everyone's interest. And secondly, even if you hire the top contractor, you, the owner, need your own staff. You need to be capable of harnessing the vast flow of information that is going to come in a Giga project and monitor and perform services that are in your wheelhouse for operation and ultimate success of the project. So there are thrilling things to work on, but they do require this front-end attention and I think a rethinking of how contracts are executed.
Rob, thank you very much for this conversation. I really enjoyed it.
Great. Thanks so much and best wishes to your viewers.
Thank you. And for anyone involved in regional Giga projects, 3 lessons stand out. Number 1, adapt contracts to scale. Number 2, invest heavily upfront. Number 3, build strong owner capability. In Saudi Arabia, we are shaping not just projects, but a model for the future. Rob, thanks again. And to our audience, thank you for listening.